me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
We have an acronym we say CARE, Creating Amazing Recreational Experiences.
Oh, I love it.
So it serves two purposes. Like, we care. We want to show people that we care about them by creating those amazing recreational experiences. One of the things that I said to the team when I got here was that I want everyone to feel like they have a place here at Henry County Parks and Recreation.
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Today we're thrilled to feature an inspiring leader from Henry County, Georgia, Parks and Recreation. Jonathon Penn, Executive Director, is here to share insights into how his team creates amazing recreational experiences for their community. From innovative programs like the Watering Can Mentoring Program, which teaches middle and high schoolers valuable trade skills, to their popular Pokémon GO tournaments and educational initiatives like the annual Spelling Bee, Henry County Parks and Rec is redefining community engagement. Join us as we explore their commitment to inclusivity, youth development, and leveraging technology to enhance public spaces. Let's dive in. All right, we're back from a small week break. I've just come back from Utah, by the way. Thank you to all the park rangers that keep those Utah parks running. Spent about 8 days in that and really enjoyed it. Can't wait to share some of those experiences with y'all. I think I'm gonna create a little episode, but we've got a very special guest with us today. He is the leader of Henry County, Georgia Parks and Recreation, and his whole team does a monthly show with us. And I think it's just one of the greatest teams that I've ever had the pleasure of covering. So welcome to the show, Jonathon.
Thank you for inviting me. We love the show. Like I said before, this is definitely a goal for us, and we love it. We love it. So
yeah, I really appreciate y'all coming on and sharing, kind of pulling back the curtain so that everybody can see how a well-run Parks and Rec department runs. But per usual, we are going to play a little short promo for the entire Daily Parks and Rec Show and what we're trying to accomplish with the PRS Media Company. And hot off the press, Chris just finished up our promotion for our facilities maintenance show. So I wanted to play those two, and then we'll come back and hear all about Jonathon's life in Parks and Rec.
Love it.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it, we amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co., LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day. All right, so that gives y'all a general overview of what we're trying to accomplish. And we have a special show Monday through Thursday all about facilities maintenance. And we've been really trying to push to build this a 4-day, 4 hours a week of content for them. And we just finished our second promotional, kind of like version 2. So let's play that real quick, and then we'll come right back with Jonathon. Behind every thriving park, every safe playground, every event-ready field, there's a team working before sunrise and long after sunset. This is Facility Maintenance, the only show created for and by the unsung heroes of Parks and Recreation. Brought to you by DPRS Media Co., where real work gets real recognition. From restrooms to rec centers, HVAC to turf tech, we go beyond the job site into the heart of operations that keep our communities moving. Our mission? To elevate maintenance teams through stories, solutions, and shared experience. Our vision? A world where every facility crew is seen, valued, and fully supported. Each episode features operators, innovators, and leaders, sharing tools, tech, and tactics that make the impossible look easy. Facility maintenance isn't just a job. It's purpose, it's passion, and now it's a show. Facility maintenance, where tools meet purpose, where work becomes legacy.
All right. Shout out to Brian on your team, head of maintenance.
Yes, Brian is the man.
I'll tell you what, you got a great one there.
Yes.
You better hang on to him.
Yeah, I am. That's my guy. That's my guy. We have a great history since I've been here at Henry County, and he's done a phenomenal job. And he's the epitome of how I like to lead people, and building them up to be the best version of themselves. So yeah. He's the culmination of that. And he thanks me all the time. I'm like, look, dude, it's you. I'm just here as a tool to help and guide. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into all these leadership topics that you seem to have mastered over your life. And I know that comes from a career of just, an intentional career of seeking how to lead yourself, how to lead men and women in Parks and Rec and anything else. But maybe let's go back to your all the way back to when you were a child.
All the way back.
Let's go all the way back, and let's hear who Jonathon was when he was maybe didn't have an idea of what he wanted to be, who you were in high school. Start there.
Okay, so high school, yeah, man. That's funny because now that I think about it, I've been out of high school for 2025 for 24 years.
Wow.
And yeah, man, it seems like it was yesterday. It doesn't seem like it was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just had a new employee orientation for the county yesterday, and I stopped in there. As the executive director, we introduce ourselves and talk about some things and who we are and the vision and the goals of the county and things like that. And they had a break afterwards. And so one of the guys came up to me because I told him, I was like, yeah, about 20 years ago when I was in college. And so he came up to me, he was like, dude, like, you said you went to college 20 years ago. It doesn't even look like it. He was like, how do I be like you when I'm your age? Because he was like, I thought you were a lot younger than what you are. He was like, yeah, I've been out of college for like 20 years, man.
Wow.
So, but high school, man, high school athlete, played football, basketball, ran track, mostly known for running track. Running in the Junior Olympics.
What was your race?
The 200 and the 400. Those were my races. The 400 was my specialty, but I ran the 2 and the 4 in both relays. But definitely the 400 was my race.
I love the 400. For those of you not familiar with track, if your coach required you to stay till the end, the 400 4x4 was the last race. And
4x4 is the last race.
Last race of the day.
Yep.
What was your best time?
So my best time was a 48 at the time, which was really great because I didn't run track until my senior year.
You're kidding.
Yes. Didn't run track until my senior year. Yeah, I had some things going on injured wise, so I didn't play football and basketball. And I was like, man, it's my senior year. I got to do something. So I ended up running track, and we didn't even have a sprint coach. That's how, like, our school was known for cross country. So we didn't have a sprint coach. And so I taught myself a lot of what I had to do when I was out there. I won county, I won region, I made it to the state finals, and then I made it to nationals in the Junior Olympics. That's all in literally that 6-month span.
That's crazy. And it's
Yeah,
such a different, you know, training regiment, distance, middle distance,
yeah,
sprinting. It's
yeah.
crazy. You cost yourself that, right? What, 17, 18 years old?
Yes. Yep.
How much
I
YouTube was going
literally
on
was
back then?
17, I turned 18 during the season. Yeah.
And I don't even think YouTube existed back then, or
No,
if
it
it did.
didn't. It did not then. I always tell people, I said, man, I wish we had
Oh my gosh,
sometimes I wish
dude.
we did, and sometimes I wish we didn't. I'm glad we
Yeah,
didn't have social media.
yeah,
So I do
yeah.
wish we had the NIL stuff. That would be awesome.
What is that NIL? The
So, now with high school and college, student athletes can be paid for their name, image, and
Oh
likeness.
yeah,
And so, if we had that back then, oh my goodness, man, that would have been awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you've got all these people, these kids getting these brand deals because they have
Yep.
such a strong media presence, and then they're
Uh-huh.
athletic. And we have a little girl here at LSU. She's a gymnast, and she is just killing it. I think
Yeah.
she's got all kind of brand deals, and she's
Yep.
just one of our gymnasts. And you're starting to see a lot of that because scholarships in track and some of these other sports that aren't like the big football, baseball sports are like a third of your tuition. It's very,
Yep.
very tiny, and not everybody
Yep.
on the track team has an athletic
A
scholarship.
scholarship. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah,
Yep. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I've always been a Parks and Rec kid. I grew up in Parks and Rec playing sports.
When did you start it? Were you like after school care, like 5 years old, kind of Parks and Rec person, or did you get into the
So
sports a little bit older?
yeah, I started when my first sport was baseball. I'm
Mm,
originally from Michigan. I moved to Georgia when I was about 6 years old, six turning seven.
mhm,
And so I still consider myself a Georgia boy because I've been here for a while. And I started playing baseball first. At the time, my mother was in the military. And so I played baseball on the base when I was like 7 years old. So that
mhm.
was my first sport. And I actually played baseball in college. So,
Ah,
but that baseball was my first sport. And
that's hard
then,
to get a college to be to even to walk on a college team is hard. That's a
yeah,
small group of of high school baseball players that get on the college team.
yeah. So I was a center fielder, third baseman. I pitched a little bit. I do not consider myself a pitcher. I was not great at pitching, specifically center field, because I was fast. I could see the ball, cover a lot of area, things like that. So center field and third base were my two main areas.
Yeah.
Um, and then I played. So then after baseball, I played football. I was 7 years old. I was the tiniest thing out there, and I played during back then. It was by pound, so it wasn't by age. So the lowest pound that they had at the time was 90 pound, the 90-pound weight class. But I
Ah,
was super tiny at seven, and I was playing against like 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, some of them, and yeah, that was a rough first season.
you had to depend on your speed, stay away from the big guys.
Man, yes. But that next season, it was on and popping. So I played quarterback. I was mostly a running quarterback.
Uh-huh.
And I actually played quarterback all the way up through high school. And then switched to wide receiver. But yeah, yep.
Man. So what was it like? You played for your Parks and it was like the leagues that they ran?
Yep. Yep. They had different. So with one park organization, there was like, so you had like the true rec side where you had teams, and then we back then we could use NFL names. So a lot of us, we were like the Redskins, the Cowboys, the Broncos, and
Oh,
things
nice.
like that. So we would play in that league, but then once you got to a certain certain pound, or if you were really good, then you would try out for what they call like the elite team, which is like they call them the Blackhawks at that particular part. And so after my that year, I actually went and tried out and played on the Blackhawks because
Mm,
of my speed. Really, that's really why. Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And today you can't name your team after pro teams. Is something against that, I guess, when you're a little local team?
So now everybody has their own organization, their own names, so they're trying to promote their organization and names. You got what our goal is we're trying to bring true rec ball back because everybody wants to be an elite travel team now, whether it's football, baseball, or basketball. And everybody isn't elite. And
Right.
we just want it to be, we want true rec teams back.
Now, why do
So
y'all want that? Can you maybe explain to those that maybe don't understand the difference and how important it is for the health of a community to have not just elite teams, but these all athletics, all walks of life availability for these sports?
because we want to be able to include everybody. Some people may not have the experience or the some people just don't have the skill set at that time to play on these elite level teams. And then you're signing up and they're just sitting there. They're not gaining any type of experience. They're
Mhm.
not learning anything because the coaches only focus on those elite players. So they're not teaching these players in-game experiences. Yeah, during practice they may get a couple reps, but they're not learning the game.
Mhm.
It's hard for them to do that. So you got to have this area for them to grow and learn and see if they actually like the sport. A lot of times they get put on these teams and then it scars them and they're like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play that because I'm not included. Um, I don't like it because everyone's picking on me because I'm not as good as everybody else. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different factors that go into that. So we got to provide a safe space for them to learn and grow as individuals and actually see if they even like it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
still have a competitive environment.
Yeah. You know, it reminds me of I was on a baseball team and I was terrible at baseball. Like I did not have eye hand coordination, and I struck out every single time this whole season. But one time, I hit the ball. It was a line drive, almost was a home run, and I was as shocked that I hit the ball. I was as shocked as everybody else that I hit the ball. But the little coach came and
They're
carried
like,
me home.
run, run, run.
He celebrated so much, and that was probably one of the highlights of my life. And I discovered that I could be an athlete, even though I wasn't good at baseball and some of these other sports. But I would have never even made a team, any team, if it was a competitive team rather than just a
Right.
local team. And I wouldn't have
Hmm.
learned all those lessons that they taught me. And
Yep.
so you just, I hate when people think about sports as only for those that are athletic,
It's
because you're
not.
excluding most of the population. Can't even make a high school team on some of these sports. They're
Hmm.
so competitive.
Yep. And you got to look at the numbers. Like, you got to think on a let's just take a basketball team, for example.
Oh
You
yeah.
got 12 players at most on a basketball team.
Hmm.
At most, you got 12 players. You got hundreds, thousands of kids in that school.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that the percentages are not there. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you got to provide other avenues for these
Yeah.
kids because everyone's not going to be able to be on that level.
Right. And we had a little team called a Sure Shot team, and it was probably 800 kids, and most of which were terrible at basketball. But they would split up the teams where each team was equally talented. So everybody had like this one ace guy that was
Uh-huh.
phenomenal at basketball. And on that same team, you had people that could not even
Good.
dribble.
Yep. And how we do it here is we do modified we modify our teams. So
Mhm.
originally there were two divisions. There would be like what do we call it? Like an elite division where a coach would have all of their players they bring and they're not doing a draft, they're not doing evaluation, nothing. They come with their team, they select their players on their own, and they come and they say, hey, I have my team, I want to play in this elite bracket. And they all play against each other. And then we had
Mhm.
the rec side. Um, this year, last year we did away with the elite side. We only do the rec side because there wasn't enough teams to do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But how we control the rec side is we allow coaches to do 3 freezes. Every coach get 3 freezes. So 3 players that they want to freeze that they feel like, hey, I got to have this person on my team. So that's
Mhm.
even there. Everybody gets 3. You
Yeah.
get to pick those 3, and then everyone else goes into a draft or a blind hat draw. If they don't attend the draft for, evaluations, then they go into a blind hat draw. And so that way it's fair across the board that everyone has somewhat of an equal team. Now, then it boils down to coaching.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
some people are better coaches than others and they can coach up the players that never touch the ball. I coach. I
Yeah.
actually coach basketball. I've been coaching my son's teams ever since he's been 4. And so a lot of times, a lot of coaches don't like to have more than 8 players on their team because of how the rules are. You got a mandatory sub, everybody's got to play, all that type. So they don't like to have more than 8 because if you have more than that, if you have 10 players on your team, then at that one mark, 5 of them got to come off the court, and then you got to put 5 brand new players in, and you may not have, if you don't strategize, you may not have somebody that can handle the ball because you got new
Yeah.
players, so you got to figure that piece out. But I've been known they'll put like 12 people on my team,
Mhm.
just because I do coach up those players that never touch the ball, and I love seeing and leading these kids in a way to where they are inspired enough to know that they can do it, they can grow, they can learn, and then seeing them grow over the season and how much they enjoy being better and them
Mhm.
recognizing that they've gotten better by the end of the season.
Yeah. Tell me more about your journey as a coach, as far as, where you started to where you are today, uh, not just on coaching the teams, but even the skills and the drills and some of that kind of stuff. What was your kind of journey through that?
Yeah, so after college, I was trying to figure out like what angle I wanted to go. What did I want to do?
Mm.
And I started doing personal training. I was doing some personal training for a while, and that fed into me helping people, leading people to achieve their goals. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the epitome of someone saying, "Hey, I want to lose a certain amount of pounds, or I want to gain this amount of muscle, or I want to be faster, I want to do X, Y, and Z." And you coming up with a plan, guiding them, because that's all the trainer does is
Mhm.
guide and push you in the direction of your goals.
Mhm.
And so that was the start of that. And then when I first started working, my first job in Parks and Recreation, I was working for the city of East Point. I was a couple years out. Like I said, I'm just finding my way, figuring out, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go with. And someone that I knew said, "Hey, you're a sports guy. You've been in the sports. You're good with kids. Why don't you come on over here to this Parks and Rec? They have an entry level position. See if you like it, try it out." And I did. Got
Mm.
hired, and I. It was funny because I was placed at a rec center, super young at the time, early 20s, and the center supervisor at the time was an older gentleman that was kind of just laid back, stuck in his ways, didn't interact with the community, didn't interact with the kids that came to the facility. And I would get out there and I would play with them. I'll play basketball with them, do games with them. And so they started to gravitate towards me. And I ended up coaching a 17-year-old team uh,
Mm.
for in basketball. And that's where that journey of coaching started.
Yeah. Now, how much is this managing, personalities and the actual the mind and the character of these athletes versus, the actual sport and the skill?
It's a lot of it, especially the younger ones. Well,
Mhm.
all of them, because they, and I've learned, especially with my son, so he's like 10 now.
Mhm.
They make one mistake and it's like everything is over. Like the game's over. I messed up. It's like, no, you still have a whole game to play. Like,
Yeah.
yes, you missed that layup. It's fine. Let's get back to it. You missed that shot. It's fine. Let's get back to it. You made a foul. Okay, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
But they get in their mind, and then if another team goes on a run and they're down by 6 or 8, and they're like, oh, well, it's over. We lost. No, you got 4 quarters of this. Like, let's stick to it. Don't get in your head. You can play, and getting them to understand that basketball is a game of runs and that you have time. Just do your job. Do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. So
yeah, because in basketball, there's so many times, like say soccer, you only got so many shots at a goal. And you work so hard to finally everything going right to give that one guy on your team the shot at a goal. And then it might be quite a while before that one guy gets another shot, whoever that is.
Yeah.
But in basketball, you've got nonstop. Yeah.
You can go on defense and get a steal, and then you make 2 possessions, you're back in the game. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So you knock down 2 threes, you're back in the game. So it's like, hey, it's all mental. And I do work on even the young ones, like even my 6U team. I tell them, hey, it's okay. Keep playing. It's okay. I don't care that you mess up. And I always tell all of my teams, I say, what's the number 1 rule? I say, have fun. Have fun. That's the number 1 rule. And I say that in every huddle. What's the number 1 rule? They go, have fun. And we go from there. And that way it gets in their head, like, okay, I need to go out here to be loose and have fun and enjoy what I'm doing. The hard work is doing practice. The game is the reward. Have fun.
That's it. That's what we've been practicing for.
Yeah.
And it's so true, especially even in life. You can get down on yourself for that one miss, and it's almost like all the other times you succeeded just crumble away with that one miss if you get in your head. And I think one of the great skills is just being able to reset and
it's funny. I just had that conversation with Michelle. You know Michelle, part of the team.
Yeah.
Just had that conversation with her. We were talking about an event that happened this past weekend. I wasn't able to attend because I broke my foot. I know they told you that on the last podcast. So I broke my foot playing basketball. I broke my foot. I haven't broken a bone ever in my life, and finally broken a bone at 42. So
oh my gosh, how'd you do it?
It was a freak accident because the ball bounced long. I went out to go get it, just kind of like racing to get it with another person that was on defense. Went up to grab it, came down, didn't come down on anybody's foot or anything, came down on the side of my foot. I'm thinking this is a ankle sprain, high ankle sprain or something, try to walk it off, and quickly realized it was not soft tissue.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to urgent care and they did the x-rays, and it was a clean break, which is good. So I'm just in a boot for about 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's one thing I've had to learn later in life. Now I do yoga almost every day, is we spend almost the whole time warming up. And at the very end, you'll do something challenging, but it's like an hour of just warming the body up.
Yep. It's definitely different. It's different. And then in your mind, you still think that you're in your 20s. So it's like,
Yeah. Now, what advice would you give coaches that are formerly good athletes, or they're coaching something a sport that they've never done before? A lot of volunteer moms and dads that are volunteering for a sport that their kid is interested in, they have no experience in it, or they've never coached. Because it is just because you're a good athlete, that does not make you a good coach. Totally different.
Does not translate. Yeah. I would say to have patience, number 1. Especially if you're doing youth sports, you got to have a lot of patience. And if it's rec youth sports, a lot of these kids have no idea what they're doing. They never touched the ball, played, or did anything competitively. So they have no idea of what to do, where to go. So you got to have a lot of patience with the student athletes. And the other thing is just ask questions. If you don't know, ask questions, and seek out clinics that'll help you become a better coach. now you got YouTube where you can watch all types of videos to help you become a better coach, how to
Yeah.
run plays, what drills you need to run. And then if you are this type of person, come up with a plan, a practice plan, so that you know what you're going to do each practice, and it's not chaos every time you get out there, or you're just throwing the ball out and they're just kind of running around. So you have
Yeah.
some structure to your practice. So that teaches your team structure, but it also provides structure for you, and you know what you're doing. And because what people fail to realize is with these youth rec teams, you don't have a lot of time. You got like 2 hours a week that you're with them, trying to teach them a game that they're playing games with, and you probably only practice maybe a week or two before the season even started. So it's not a lot of time to teach them all the things that they need to know. So you got to maximize that hour that you do have.
Yeah. Yeah, I always felt that as well. When I started coaching, I was like, we got so much, because the kids come with almost, it's like a blank canvas.
Yep.
And you got to start from the beginning and coach these kids on everything from the ground up with no skills, no confidence. Is there, what do you find is the most beneficial to kids as far as building that confidence in their own bodies and themselves?
Allowing them to make the mistake, correcting it, and seeing them overcome that mistake the next time.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And I think that's a huge life lesson too, because we're all going to make mistakes throughout life. We're all going to mess up. We're not perfect, but overcoming that so that you can be better, learning from it to be better, and then growing from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you really grow. And if you have those opportunities to grow, so it's important to have, just get on the court, start. That's the best thing you can do, is just start.
Just start. Just do it.
That's
Just
it.
do it.
That's it. All right. So you're out of college. What's your life like between exiting college and then eventually finding your way into a career in Parks and Rec?
I was lost. I won't say completely lost. I had some idea. I was actually, so throughout college, I modeled as well. A lot of, I don't share this with a lot of people, but I will share with you. I did model.
How did that opportunity come into your life?
High school, someone saw me and was like, "Hey, you should do some modeling." And I was like, "Okay." And I took some pictures, and then it just, snowball effect from there.
Any lessons from that?
Oh man, it taught me a lot of patience too, because with that world, everything happens. So you may have a call time of 12 o'clock. With certain, so it depends. There are some that are super professional shoots, some that are not as professional, but you may have a call time and then you're waiting around for 4 hours. Like, what am I doing? I mean, you're getting paid, but you're just waiting around. Like, you're not really doing much of anything. And so during that time, I also learned how to maximize my time. Like, so if I have a book, I'm reading something, or if I have something else that I wanted to be working on, I could be working on that during that time, especially during college. Like, I could do classwork during that time, things like that. So after college, I ended up, after college, I still did it some. I ended up walking in New York Fashion Week for a couple designers.
Man, what was that like? That's a big deal.
It was cool. It was cool. It was a great experience. Got to meet, quite a few people. So it was a nice experience. Yeah.
And then what after that?
And so after that, I did some print modeling. I did something for Gillette, the shaving. I was on Belk & Cole's website at one point.
Nice.
Did Ford Motors. They had like a magazine that they would publish. I was in that. So did a little bit of that, and then just kind of feeling like, hey, I need to figure out, am I going to do this all the way, or what am I going to do? And that money wasn't as consistent, and I was looking for a little bit more consistency. So then the Parks and Rec job came up. And so I was doing Parks and Rec because I was entry level. I was doing that and modeling at the same time for some time. But then as I started to I was just being myself while I was at work, and just my personality and work ethic and leadership just showed naturally of just how I am, and opportunities started to present themselves, and I just took advantage of those opportunities. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
All right, so I want to play this little we're past the halfway point. We usually promote one of our other shows. Today we're going to promote the show. It's a Thursday show on Youth Sports Mastery with host Aaron Locks, who's been doing youth sports for 40 years. I love this guy. And so his show is actually happening right after this show. And then we'll come back and talk about Jonathon's career in Parks and Recreation.
Nice.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics and powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
I love Aaron's mantra, or he says, play hard, have fun. It's literally his mission behind youth sports. And really, I think is the overall mission behind Parks and Recreation is to play hard and have fun.
Play hard and have fun.
I love it. All right. So first job in Parks and Recreation, what is the full-time? Or you came on as part-time or full-time, or how did you get into it?
I came on as full-time. Yep. I was a recreation leader. And like I said, I literally was placed at a facility just to watch the kids, that came into the facility during the day. But I just couldn't sit there and be idle and not do anything. So I started coming up with programs for them to do. I would play with them. I would run full court basketball with them, play kickball with them, do all types of stuff with them. And so all of that really helped me get to know the community, one, and then understanding what their needs are. And then from that, I was able to create programs, created systems that made how the operations of the facility was more efficient. And so all of that was noticed by the director. And once a position opened up for me to move up, then I moved. I think my next position after a rec leader was I was an athletic coordinator. Athletic coordinator. And they created that position for me because I didn't even have that position at the time. And then
I was going to say, I know a lot of people that are outside of Parks and Rec don't realize the level of leadership opportunities you have on day one. This isn't an industry where you do the same monotonous task behind a desk or with a group of people. They put you in charge of kids and coaches and facilities like in your 20s. And the fun begins 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, weekends, nights, holidays. And it's just such a great industry to train yourself in all these areas.
And it even starts with like the seasonal work, summer camp. And that brings me back to when I was in high school, I worked summer camps. I was one of the camp counselors during summer camp. for some of the camps in the area. So my Parks and Rec journey actually started with that. I just realized that
Yeah.
working those summer camps,
Yep.
but even then, like back then, you could be in high school working summer camps. Now we try to get young adults that are in college or teachers or things like that. But back then, and a lot of still rec organizations now, they still do teens. That we actually have a teen camp, so we don't really hire a lot of teens. We do a program where you can do like a counselor and training type
Hmm.
deal. Um, but back then, yeah, we were in high school helping out, employed as a camp counselor in these summer camps, and that's actually where it starts. But those during that time, you do learn a lot of those leadership skills or
Hmm.
management skills, because you're overseeing. If you um, take the opportunity to allow that to happen and you involve yourself, you can learn a lot of those skills because you're managing all of these kids. You're
Yeah.
learning how to collaborate and work with other people. Those are all the tools that you learn when you're in those positions. You learn you learn conflict resolution because
Hmm.
every day there's something going on with these kids.
Parents,
Yep,
coaches.
parents, kids, every single day is something different. It's never a dull moment.
Right. And it's not just athlete counseling, it's parent counseling. Yep.
Yes, yes. And a lot of times the parents are worse than the kids.
I know it. I know it. Double the
So,
amount of problems you have with the parents
yes,
because
yeah.
they get all up in your business when it comes to coaching.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even the camps, like yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Now,
all
what
in.
on day one, because here you are, a student athlete, Junior Olympics, went through the modeling, had all your education and career up to that point. What were some of the holes you recognized in yourself immediately within the first 6 to 12 months that you started building these different skills?
When I was at my first job at East Point,
Yeah.
um, man, so I guess I've always had some level of patience. I learned how to resolve certain conflicts a lot
Mhm.
better, or better, not a lot better, but
Mhm.
better. And dealing with parents, like what we talked about, that dynamic between parents and kids,
Mhm.
um, understanding that the parents, they really just want the best for their kids, and learning how to hear them out, learning to not to be angered quickly, uh,
Mhm.
because they can push your buttons. So learning to hear people out and know that it's not a personal attack on you. They're really just looking for the best for their child and how to
Mhm.
resolve the issue. And a lot of times it's not even about that situation. It's about something that they're dealing with that you have no clue that they're dealing with. And they
Yeah.
just be heard in that moment.
Yeah.
Um, that was a valuable lesson that I learned early on.
Mhm.
And I think my personality helped me grow in that area a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think from the first day you're set up as a leader, and I think, in a lot of careers you just don't have that leadership opportunity, but Parks and Rec gives that to you, and you're dealing with people that are typically a lot older than you,
Uh-huh. And
and
oh, I'm glad you said that because from day one, I've always been the youngest in the room.
Mhm.
Always. Um, even, you know, coming up as a, athletic coordinator and starting to be in those different meetings, I was always the youngest. When we go to district meetings with GRPA and things like that, I was typically always the youngest in those rooms,
Mhm.
on committees and things like that. So listening and understanding how people operate and really getting to know the ins and out of it at a young age definitely helped me out.
Mhm.
Um, you come with a lot of fresh ideas. A lot of older people are stuck in their ways. They don't want to hear, well, we've been doing it this way for so long. Why do we got to change it? Things like that. And so that's something that has always been the case with me in leadership roles, is I've always been the youngest in the room, but because of my personality and then my experience in training now, people listen.
Yeah.
Even though I look younger than I am, and I am typically the youngest in the room. The same thing happened when I came to here, Henry County. Young guy coming in, everyone on the team were seasoned, been here 15, 20, 30 years. And so they're like, what are you gonna tell us? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so being able to show them, my leadership style is I adjusted to the situation. Whatever leadership style I need to adjust to. I guess my fallback leadership style, or my natural leadership style, is that I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to show you that I'm not above it, that I can go out there and mow the grass if I need to. I can get out there and weed eat if I need to. And I do that. I've done that with our park maintenance crew. I've spent the whole day where I'm weed eating and picking up trash and out there with them on 90-degree weather here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And those are the types of things that when they see that and they see you as a leader, they're like, man, that's all right. I can fight for him. I can see his vision. I see what we're trying to do. And they know that I'm not above it. I'm not above them, and I appreciate what they're doing to achieve the ultimate goal.
Yeah. It reminds me of that scene in Braveheart where you had a lot of the lords that showed up with their men, and then they're like, all right, y'all go attack those guys. But then Braveheart gets on his horse, riles them all up, gets off his horse, gets on the front line with them. He's leading the charge. Two different styles of leadership, but you can't expect your men to bleed when you're in comfort and they're giving it their all.
It's to the point now, like if we have an event and they see me picking up, moving stuff or setting up stuff, they're like, hey man, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to, like, but I don't mind, so but I do it because I want them to see that I'm here with them and I'm for them, and I can do it too. I can get my hands dirty just like you.
Yeah. And it's so different, because I forgot what book I read. I think it was a Navy SEAL book that talked about, leading by example versus do what I say, not as I do kind of thing. Yep. And it's just so hard to get consensus and to get people to really get behind the mission when the leader is not, working the mission himself.
Yep. And especially when you're new coming in, or you have new people coming in, like, you got to show them that you're here for them, that you're going to do what you can to do everything in their best interest, the best interest of the mission, the goal, and the vision of the entire team. For me, I always tell my team, I want you to be the best version of yourself, because if you're the best version of yourself, the entire team is going to benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I preach that so much to the team. I want you to get all the training that you want. And it may be that the best version of yourself isn't with this team, but I'm going to help you get to that point. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because as long as you're happy and you're growing, you're going to help this team out.
I love it. Now, tell me about the mission and vision that you have at Henry County, Georgia, and how y'all got to this concise mission that you can, because like you said, when you're in leadership, you just repeat the same thing over and over, and it never stops.
Yep.
But how did you form that? How did you get to it? Or what is it?
So we have an acronym. We say CARE, Creating Amazing Recreational Experiences.
Oh, I love it.
And so it serves two purposes. Like, we care. We want to show people that we care about them, by creating those amazing recreational experiences.
Mhm.
One of the things that I said to the team when I got here was that I want everyone to feel like they have a place here at Henry County Parks and Recreation. Most of the time, Parks and Recs focus on your traditional sports, baseball, football, basketball.
Mm.
And I wanted everyone to feel like they were included. So I said, let's brainstorm. Let's come up with different program ideas to where those people that don't want to play football, baseball, or basketball, they have a place here.
Mhm.
When I first got here, I tell this story. When I first got here, I was driving around at one of our parks where the Parks and Recreation Administration building is located. And I would see these people driving around in their cars real slow in the parking lot. My mind, I'm like, man, why these people creeping in the parking lot? Like, I don't know what's going on. So I went and asked the team, I was like, hey, like, why are these people like creeping around the parking lot? Like, what's going on? And they were like, well, they're looking for Pokemon. And I said, looking for Pokemon? Like,
Oh, I
what?
remember.
Yeah, like, and so they during that time it was like Pokemon Go on your phone, and you would
Mhm.
like look, I think it's like AR, and you
Uh-huh.
would pull them up on your phone, and they would be in different locations, geotagged in different locations, and so
Yeah.
like that was like the area where you can find like rare Pokemon or something like that.
Yeah.
I had no clue, but I said, well, they're here. They're here all the time. Like, how can we engage that group? How can we engage that community? And that ended up growing into one. We have one of the largest Pokemon Go tournaments now in
No
the area.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that was
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. So just things like that. We do creative writing classes. We do one of the things. So I'm big on like student athlete. Like we call our participants student athletes.
Oh.
Um,
Now why
and
do you do
so
that? What's the importance of that?
so our mantra is education over athletics. And
Mm.
so we want them to understand that you got to get your education for you to be a successful athlete.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, to go into college, playing sports in college and definitely at the professional level, like you gotta have some level of education to understand playbooks, read all of these things and know that. So that's crucial for you to be on different levels in your, you know, sports career. Um, but we introduced what we our spelling bee, and so we do a spelling bee for all of our athletes registered in our program, our basketball program. So you register for basketball, then you have an opportunity to register for the spelling bee, and then we have a true spelling bee where each grade and they you have words that you have to study, and we give out awards and things like that. So it's definitely grown over the years. But that was one of the other things that people were like, oh man, this is really good. You know, it's something different. Um, Gaming, esports, that was another thing because that's huge.
Mm.
Esports has become really, really big. I think about 10, 12 years ago, I was at a conference, the NRPA conference, and I was talking about how the viewership in esports was right. Only the only thing that had more viewership was the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
and that was
crazy.
10 to 12 years ago. So
Yeah.
you can imagine what it is now. And now you have collegiate um, esports teams giving out scholarships. So that's another avenue for people that don't play your traditional football, baseball, and basketball to become to get a college scholarship in gaming.
Yeah.
And um, we do a homeschool program where all the homeschool students in the area, they have certain times where they do different programming, athletic programming, but also um, like the creative writing type programming and things like they go on hikes and different things like that. So that's another thing. One of our premier programs that we have been, it's in the NRPA magazine, GRPA magazine, is our watering can mentoring program. And so this is for those individuals that want to learn more about the trades. These are middle schoolers, high schoolers, and our parks maintenance team runs this program. They oversee this program, and that's unheard of. Park maintenance, they don't get into programming. Typically in Parks and Rec, all they do is, you think about facilities maintenance, mowing, weed eating. Our park maintenance crews are programming. They have a
Oh, that's
program and
brilliant.
they mentor these kids. And we actually have a graduation. Our graduation, this is our 3rd year doing it. The graduation is this Sunday for this class. And they learn everything from how to work on small engines, turf maintenance, how to build things. Last class, they actually built a backstop for one of our baseball fields. They learn all types of things with their hands, small, like electrical things. And so it's really good to help them understand that this is an avenue for you. This can be a career for you. You can go into the trades. Everyone's not going to go to your traditional 4-year college. We actually need more people to go into the trades because there's going to be there is a huge gap in the older generation with that know your electrical, HVAC, and all of that stuff. To the younger generation, there's a huge gap, and there's going to be a huge need for that.
Yeah, there definitely is a massive infrastructure lift that the planet's getting ready to give as we bring in AI, robotics, and the skills necessary to maintain all these robots and this new stuff that's just blowing up on the maintenance side we're super lacking. And I think that's always going to be a good industry for us to, educate ourselves in.
And I'm even introducing to my team, you mentioned AI, a lot of different technologies, because of course everyone here has heard about ChatGPT, Grok, things like that. A lot of people don't know how to use it properly. They use it as if it's a search engine like Google, which there's so many more capabilities to it, which that leads to prompt engineering.
That's right.
And I'm telling them, learning how to prompt is going to be very lucrative for you if you can really do that.
Yeah.
And it'll also help you get the things that you need and use AI as a tool. Don't see it as a threat, and don't see it as a crutch either. Use it as a tool in your everyday work. And so introducing the team to that. And now we're partnering with a local private school to where we're going to be teaching robotics and STEAM.
Yeah.
So
man, because I look at it as, let's just say your whole family generations learned how to just plow the field with a mule. And then you have this new noisy machine that shows up on the farm, and you're having to learn how to drive it, repair it. But you're able to do 1,000, 10,000 times more work with this new machine, and prompt engineering is more powerful than that. And you just have to learn how to work with AI, because it allows you to just plow thousands of acres versus your one little acre.
Yep. Brian and I just had a conversation earlier this week. We are setting up a meeting. We're going to be going to do a demo for robotic mowers.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I need to connect you with Kim Bybee. I think she probably runs the most advanced robotics fleet in her Parks and Rec right in Carrollton, Texas. And they are just leading the charge on this stuff.
Please get me in contact with her, because that's where we're going. I did a demo of robotic mowers about 8-9 years ago when I was at East Point. The technology was it was in its infant stages at that time for those robotic mowers. And you didn't have a lot of manufacturers here where you can get them. You had to get them from overseas and things like that. So it was a little bit more difficult for me at that time. So we didn't actually do it. But now it's so robust. And we're looking to move in that direction too. It just helps out in so many different areas.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're still going to need your guys and to mow certain areas and do it a certain way. But those small areas or large areas that are just closed off, where you're having people complain because it's overgrown and you can't get to it, have that robot mower on a schedule, and they cleaning it, mowing that thing every week, and you won't have any issues.
Yeah, the service you could provide in Parks and Rec, if you had, say, a $10 million budget, and somebody says, well, what would you do with $100 million budget? you literally can expand how you serve the community, how you maintain your properties. You just don't
Yep.
have the extra 90 million or the extra double your manpower. But with robotics now, it can feel like you've got 10 times the bandwidth on manpower and on money, because machines do this work so much more efficiently.
I agree. I totally agree. And that's what we are. Like, the reality of it is we're doing so much more with less,
That's it.
as far as resources, personnel resources. And I see technology as a way for us to continue to provide the level of service that we want to provide without having to add the personnel that we need to add, and train the people that we currently have to manage those systems.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, we just flew past that first hour. We have to do a part 2, because I didn't even get
Yes.
into your
Yes. Yes. It was so much more I wanted to get into with
I know.
leadership. Like, man. So yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely have to do a part 2.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great show. We'll just call this part 1. We're going to do Jonathon Penn part 2. I do have a question for you. And let's see, this comes from, let's see. Here we go. This is from Christine Buteris in Watertown, Wisconsin. She's the director
Okay.
over there for 13
Wisconsin.
years. She says, if you had an ultimate unlimited budget for one project that would transform your community, what would it be and why?
Oh yeah. So I would build a unlimited one project. It's
Yeah.
one project, right?
Right.
Okay. Since it's one project, unlimited budget on one project, I would build a complex that had, the wheel for a wheel where you have baseball, football, and basketball. I mean, baseball fields, all the baseball fields. You have soccer fields and football fields. Indoors, you would have indoor fields, but you'll also have a whole bunch of basketball, volleyball courts. But then you have an indoor track around it, and you have an outdoor track. At that point, you're bringing in every single tournament reason. Like, you're bringing everything into that area, and that leads to splash dollars, all types of
Yeah.
things that you could do to build out the rest of the system. Since this is one project, the funding that's going to come from that is going to help you do all the other things that you want to do.
I love it. Okay, we got to make that one happen.
Yeah,
Figure out a way.
Yes, I'm actually working on it. I'm working on it.
I can't wait to see its progression. So what question would you like to leave for our next victim?
The question for the next interviewee. Let's see. Oh man. Is there anything you would do different in your profession currently, and why?
All right, what's your answer to that one, out of curiosity?
If there was anything I would do different, honestly wouldn't do anything different, because I've learned so much. And that's the reason why, because I've learned from doing it the way that I've done it and the mistakes that have been made. And it's helped me grow into the leader and the individual that I am right now. So I honestly wouldn't do anything different.
Is there anyone that stands out that, you did it one way, and then through learning and trial and error, you learned to do it this new way that you have?
I would say, and this just comes to mind because I was dealing with it today. We're building a $55 million aquatic center and water park. And there was a ton of things that have come up in that process that we definitely we're coming up with some standards moving forward to where we're not in that situation again. We just didn't know. This is the first aquatic center, water park. There's no pools here in Henry County. And we just didn't know. We just didn't know. And so I would definitely do some things different moving
Mm.
forward, not only with that type of project, but with projects in general, like things that the architect needs to have, things that we're going to require them to have so that we're not in a situation where it's going to backfire on us because we didn't know that that was needed,
Mm.
things like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Jonathan, man, it was great having you on the show today. I'm so glad you were my first show back from Utah. This has been a great one.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
thank you so much for doing a show with us monthly and allowing the world to see what you're doing in your team and that family dynamics and how awesome it is to work at Parks and Rec. Not because it's easy or a light load, it's the exact opposite of an easy job, but still fulfilling. And I can see it in your team and yourself and your leadership. It's y'all doing a great job.
Well, I want to say thank you because, like I told you before, we attempted and our goal was to do a podcast. And then you came along and this has been a godsend. This is great. Like this is all falling in line with everything that we're doing and want to do. And so I appreciate you. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I promise to keep it going. We're gonna
and we got to do part 2, man. We got to do part 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend. And I look forward to doing a part 2 with you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, Jonathan.
See ya.
Right. Okay. So that was JP, Jonathon Penn, over there in Henry County, Georgia. I think he's one of the greatest leaders in Parks and Rec. It's just is a great example of a leader that leads from the front line. And he has inspired so much loyalty and hard work from his team, and that just it starts with himself. And I'm so glad that he's allowed us to create something that highlights his team for the nation to see. They call themselves the best run Parks and Rec system in America, and whether they achieve that or not, the fact that is a mission and part of their goal of just excellence. And I love their acronym CARE. I'm forgetting what it stood for, but that's why we have a part 2, just so that we can learn a little bit more about Jonathan and his leadership style and his team. And appreciate everything you're doing for the industry. And thank you for setting such a great example, both as a man and the people you lead. And you bet his community is feeling the effects of having a well-run park system in Henry County, Georgia. So love what you're doing. And thank you all so much for giving the opportunity to build this media company on behalf of the Parks and Rec industry. Y'all do amazing work. And I think there's just not enough said or highlighted about the work that goes on across America in the field of Parks and Rec. And I believe that as AI takes over the rest of the world, this is going to be one of those industries that thrives in a fully robotics, autonomous, whatever. It's where humans want to just have those experiences and learn how to be a human in recreation and special events and Parks and Rec cares for you from cradle to grave. There is literally something for the babies, the parents, all the way on to when you're in your older years and stuff. So I'm so glad that we're able to highlight what's going on in this industry, and you get to meet people like JP that's just killing it over there, and just been a pleasure. So love you guys. I will see y'all here in a few minutes with Aaron Locks, the Esports Mastery. That's a Thursday show every day, Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, all about Esports. Looking forward to seeing you all in a minute. Thanks. Bye.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it, we amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the daily Parks and Rec show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co. LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day.